set off smoke alarm.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Well, it's not every day an Emmy Award-winning actor comes to West Michigan.
Already keeping us laughing.
That's right. He is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And today we're lucky enough to have that man in our studio, so let's welcome Ed Asner. Cracking up already.
I like
so
Wee
sorry.
Michigan.
Yes, Wee
Michigan.
West Michigan.
Ed Asner is in town to help open a new season at Singel Fine Arts Center. You've got us cracking up already.
And we're just starting.
I'm not stopping either.
That's fantastic.
I want you both.
Well,
And your ages will probably come, well, not even close. Combined ages I'm talking about.
oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I
we're,
do.
we're both a little older than we look.
Well, congratulations.
Well, I have to say, I'm very starstruck because
Do you know
I've
that
grown
how
up watching you.
geese fly in a V, you know?
Yes.
And sometimes one of the sides of the V is longer than the other. Do you know why that is?
Something about aerodynamics, I'm guessing.
No, there are more geese in it. I thought, that, you know, coming to Michigan, you probably get a lot of those
We do.
V's flying.
You know, and they're migrating already.
I wanted you to know why that is.
Well, thank you. Now I'll be able to share that with my kids.
Good. You got kids.
I have 2 in college and 1 in middle school. I've got my oldest son is getting married in June.
You were in diapers when you got pregnant.
Pretty much. Wait a minute. This is a family show.
Isn't it the truth?
Well, okay.
How many kids you got?
I have one little dog.
She has a puppy.
I have a puppy. That's
She doesn't
my
even
kid.
have a
And
boyfriend yet.
how was the delivery? I want to hear how that went.
You don't want to know.
Okay.
Okay, so you're in town because you are performing in Byron Center at the Singel Fine Arts Center tonight, kicking off their amazing season of great entertainment with your one-man show of FDR.
Yes.
You have to tell us about this. I have read.
I'll certainly tell you about
I have read so many wonderful reviews
Have you?
of how amazing you are.
They
You
never
don't look
say-
anything like FDR.
it. I know. When I put my tube on, it will.
Okay, tonight, yeah.
It totally changed me. Totally changed.
So tell us about the show.
Well, it begins more or less after Campobello, where Sunrise at Campobello left off. And it's written by Dory Sherry, and with modifications by me. And it takes him to his death. And what a comet streaking across the sky he was.
Oh yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Unfortunately, you're too young. I don't care how many kids you got. You're too young to have experienced the event of FDR.
Well, you were 15, 16
Yeah,
when
when
he
he died.
passed away. So do you remember, were you impacted? I mean, I know that you've become a very political person. Were you impacted as a young man?
Oh, yeah. When I was walking home. And Truman came from next door, Missouri. And I'm amazed at the job he did. And some will say good, some will say horrible. But he certainly was a man who tried to do what he could. So we were amazed because all we thought was that he was Boss Pendergast's tool when he was chosen as vice president, and he surprised all of us. But to fill the shoes of FDR is not possible. And when I heard the news of his death, it was like God the Father had died.
wow. Well, this show that you're, it's almost like a one-man show.
I mean, almost. It is
It's a one-man show.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're on stage, you're by yourself up there, and you're trying to fill the shoes of FDR. How are you incorporating the humor? Because he did have a few hiccups and a few bumps in the road.
Oh, no, he loved humor. He loved to make people laugh. He almost, you know, he never was a clown, but he loved to tease, and he loved to carry on a charade with his listeners. And the search for humor was always on him, and his appreciation of it was always there. And I try to get as much of that into the delivery as I can, because humor keeps an audience awake.
And it really engages. I am kind of struck by where we are as a country right now. and where we were then when he was our president. And I'm just wondering from you and from your standpoint through history, do you really try to connect with the audience of this really kind of almost, it's an amazing moment in time.
Well, for the most part, when I've done this show, it's like preaching to the choir, because they come from all over. They either come as fans of Roosevelt or people out there seeking to be told of what was done before that might work now. And of course, we're desperate for solutions right now, and we're not finding them. So we lash out. We seek an instant remedy. Occupy Wall Street. That, I think it's wonderful. I think it's people that are lashing out, and they don't have to join the Tea Party to do so. So I'm happy, and I hope it leads to leadership or a leader, one or the other. I don't care where it comes from, but I hope it happens.
Well, you have had the opportunity to play so many roles. I mean, you're one of the most decorated actors of our time. But what really made you choose this particular role?
It was offered to me. I did it on a cruise ship, and it went all right. And Philip Langner, the producer, said, well, why don't we try it as a one-man touring show? And I said, okay, all right, I'll think about it. And the more I did it, and I didn't do it because I loved Roosevelt or loved the idea of the show. I wasn't taken immediately with it. But I did it to see if I could do a one-man show. And the more I do it, the more I fall in love with it, and the more it opens me up. And I love doing the show.
No, it's great. You've had such an amazing career. I was watching a biography piece on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and it just took me back to, you know, even showing the clip of your audition with Mary and how they almost didn't even give you that part because they thought you were just kind of a meanie, to say it nicely.
A dramatic actor, let's call it that.
There you go. Yes, exactly. When you think of that time in your life, what do you think about? Is it a nice, warm memory?
Oh, the 7 years of Mary Tyler Moore were like the yellow brick road to Oz. I loved it. The time went too swiftly. We loved each other. We loved working together. And most of the CBS brass didn't want me in the show.
No, and they freely admitted that.
Yeah,
they say how wrong they were.
Yeah, they didn't think I could do comedy. I wasn't sure I could. I know I did comedy on stage in the past, but I didn't know if I could constantly provide it. You know, the old Edmund Gwenn story when he was dying at the motion picture home. And George Marshall, who was a director, wonderful director, benefactor, came to visit him. And Gwen was in an oxygen tent, and he said, "How goes it, Eddie?" And he said, "Oh, I'm dying, George." He said, "Well, how does it feel?" "Well, how do you feel?" He said, "Well, dying's hard, but comedy's harder."
You could never let it go, huh? Yeah. Well, we just want to invite our audience to know that there are still tickets available to this great performance tonight. Come see Ed Asner performing the one-man show, FDR, the Van Singel Fine Arts Auditorium. I have to tell you, it's a comfortable, beautiful place to watch a show. 84th Street, just to the west of US 131. Showtime, 7:30. And the website, you can get tickets online or show up at the box office this evening.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
Such a pleasure. You're a delightful man. Thank you for joining us today on
You'll come see the show and like it.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Oh, we'll be right back. Maybe.
Are you West?